There is a secret so profound, so powerful, that once understood, it unlocks the doors to all you desire. It is not something you seek outside of yourself. It is something you cultivate within. For everything in your life is born from the state you occupy, and the key to this transformation is you do not hope for change, you feel the change. You do not wish for abundance, you embody abundance. The world you experience is merely a reflection of your inner world, a mirror responding to the assumptions you hold as true. You may speak of what you want, you may dream of it, but until you feel it as real, it remains an idea, floating beyond your grasp. Close your eyes and let the walls of limitation fade. Imagine yourself as the person you long to be. Do not observe it as if watching a scene from a distance. Step into it. Let the air of that reality surround you. Breathe it in. Feel the warmth of the success you have already achieved. Feel the love you are now receiving. Feel the joy of the answered prayer. Do not force it, surrender to it. If you can feel it now, it is already yours. Doubt may whisper that is only imagination, but I tell you, imagination is the most real thing you possess. It is the foundation upon which the world is built. What you accept in your imagination with conviction must be reflected in your waking world. The outer world is but the shadow of the inner state. If you desire to be free, do not say, "One day I will be free." Feel the freedom now. Walk as if it were done. Speak as though you have received. Feel the gratitude of already having it. It is not enough to think about it. You must feel it so deeply that it becomes impossible to separate yourself from it. Each night before you close your eyes, dwell in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let it be the last thing you experience before sleep takes hold of you. Let your senses absorb it and let your heart be saturated with its reality. When you awaken, move through the world in alignment with that feeling, for it is already taking form. There is no power in the world greater than your ability to feel something into existence. The moment you master this, you become the architect of your reality, not by struggle, not by effort, but by the certainty of feeling. What you feel, you attract. What you feel, you create. What you feel, you become. The mind is a garden, and feeling is the water that nourishes its seeds. Every thought you entertain is like a seed planted in the soil of your consciousness, but it is not enough to simply plant. It must be fed, nurtured, and believed in. The way you water these seeds is through feeling, through the deep, unwavering assumption that what you desire is already yours. It is not a game of waiting. It is not a matter of time. It is a matter of embodying the state of your fulfilled desire here and now. You may wonder how something unseen can be real, how something unfelt can come to life, but everything you have ever experienced first existed as an unseen reality within you. The chair you sit on, the walls that surround you, the life you lead, all of it was once imagined by someone before it became tangible. The universe does not create from the outside in. It creates from the inside out. What you hold within, what you persist in feeling, must externalize itself. You must not be deceived by the evidence of the senses, for they only confirm the past. The world as you see it now is merely a projection of previous states you have accepted. If you wish to change it, you must withdraw your attention from what appears real and give your energy to what you wish to be real. When you dwell in the feeling of your desire fulfilled, you are sowing new seeds, and these seeds must bear fruit. Imagine yourself standing at the threshold of a new reality. Everything you have ever wanted is just beyond a veil, and the only thing separating you from it is your willingness to feel it now. Do not ask when it will come or how it will happen. These questions belong to those who live in doubt, those who still believe in separation between themselves and their desires. You must instead live as if. You must walk in the feeling of already having received. Consider the nature of faith. True faith does not question. It knows. True faith does not look for confirmation in the outer world. It creates the confirmation from within. If you have asked, believe that you have received, and it shall be so. This is not mere poetry or philosophy. It is the eternal law by which all things come into being. You cannot be one who hopes, one who pleads, one who waits. You must be one who feels, one who accepts, one who embodies. Your ability to feel is your direct link to creation itself. It is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between thought and manifestation. Most people allow their feelings to be dictated by their circumstances, reacting to what is rather than creating what will be. But to be master over your reality, you must learn to feel independent of circumstances. You must feel wealth while living in lack. You must feel love while standing in solitude. You must feel success while the world still calls you a failure. This is the test, and it is only those who persist in their new state who see it materialize. There is no force in the universe that can keep from you what you have fully accepted as your own. The only thing that delays manifestation is the inability to remain faithful to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. If you oscillate between belief and doubt, between feeling and fear, you are uprooting the very seeds you have planted. You must be unwavering. You must persist. You must discipline yourself to remain in the state of already having. The moment you claim something internally, reality must adjust to match your claim. There is no exception to this. Your assumptions harden the fact because the world is simply a reflection of your inner convictions. If you do not like what you see, do not curse the world. Change the state from which you operate. If you do not have what you desire, do not look for it outside. Assume the feeling of already possessing it. This is the path to true transformation. Observe the way a child believes. A child does not concern themselves with logic, with time, with conditions. When they pretend, they do so with complete conviction. They do not say, "I'm only pretending." They enter the world of imagination fully, feeling the truth of their play. And for them it is as real as anything. It is only as we grow older that we are taught to limit ourselves, to believe only in what we can see, touch, and measure. But the unseen is more powerful than the seen, for the seen is merely an effect, while the unseen is the cause. What is it you desire? Speak it not as something you wish for, but as something you already possess. If you wish to be free, say, "I am free," and feel the truth of it. If you wish to be abundant, say, "I am abundant," and let the feeling of wealth fill you. You must refuse to entertain thoughts of limitation, for they will only reproduce themselves. Every thought carries with it a corresponding feeling, and it is this feeling that shapes the fabric of your life. The greatest error people make is believing that they must wait for the world to change before they can change how they feel. But this is backwards. The world does not move first. You move first. The world does not dictate how you feel. How you feel dictates the world you see. Reality is nothing but an obedient servant, reflecting back to you the dominant feelings you carry. Your senses will try to pull you back to old assumptions. The voice of reason will tell you that nothing has changed. But you must silence these voices. You must refuse to react to what is, and instead give your attention only to what you are creating. You must be so convinced of your inner reality that the outer world has no choice but to conform. There is no power in effort, striving, struggling, forcing. All of these are signs that you do not yet believe. When you truly believe, when you truly feel, there is a quiet knowing and effortless unfolding. You no longer chase what you desire because you recognize that it is already yours. You do not grasp for it in desperation because you understand that it must come. The moment you feel it is real, the world must rearrange itself to bring it to you. Let go of worry, let go of doubt, let go of the need to control every detail. Your only task is to feel, to know with absolute certainty that it is done, to surrender completely to the joy, the peace, the satisfaction of already having received. This is the secret to life. This is the key to all manifestation. Everything in your world is a reflection of who you are being. If you wish to see change, do not look outside. Look within. Change the way you feel and the world will move accordingly. Enter the state of your wish fulfilled and refuse to leave it. No matter what appears before you, persist, for what you feel consistently must become real. The world has no choice, it is law. If you could only understand the power that lies within you, you would never again question whether your desires will come to pass. You would never again beg for what is already yours. You would no longer be a seeker, but a knower, one who walks in certainty, one who moves through life with unshakable confidence that all things are already accomplished. The illusion of waiting would dissolve, for you would realize that you do not need time to bring about what already exists in the eternal now. The moment you feel it, you have claimed it. The moment you assume it, it is set into motion. You do not need to struggle, you do not need to strive, you do not need to force. The greatest manifestations happen effortlessly because they are born from a deep abiding sense of fulfillment. What you feel is real will harden into fact, not because you willed it into existence, but because you aligned yourself with the truth that it was already done. It is not about wishing. Wishing implies distance. It is not about hoping. Hoping suggests uncertainty. It is about knowing, about assuming the feeling of already being, having, and experiencing what you desire. If you wish for wealth but internally feel lack, you will continue to experience lack. If you wish for love but internally feel unworthy, you will continue to attract loneliness. The law does not care for words. It responds to your dominant state of being. Everything that appears in your world is the result of an assumption you have made and persisted in. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. The state you occupy, the feeling you dwell in most frequently, is what manifests in your external world. You may not always be aware of it, but look around you. Your life is a mirror reflecting your inner world. If you do not like the reflection, do not fight it. Change the feeling behind it. Do not make the mistake of believing that effort is required. The effort is only necessary when there is resistance. When you have not fully accepted, your desire is already fulfilled. But the moment you feel it is true, without doubt, without contradiction, the way is made clear. The bridge of incidents will unfold naturally, leading you to your desired outcome without force, without struggle. The path will appear not because you willed it into existence, but because you surrendered to the certainty that it was already done. When you lay in bed at night, let your last thoughts be those of fulfillment. Let your body relax into the feeling of already having what you desire. See it clearly in your mind, but more importantly, feel it in your heart. Let the gratitude, the joy, the peace of it wash over you. Fall asleep in the state of your wish fulfilled, and you will awaken to a world that begins to shift in response to your new assumption. Many will question this. They will say it is imagination, that it is fantasy. But I tell you, imagination is the only reality. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you experience was first imagined by someone. Nothing exists in this world that was not first conceived in the unseen. The mistake people make is believing that what is imagined is not real. But the unseen is the cause, and the seen is merely the effect. If you wish to change the effect, you must first change the cause. There is no outside force determining your fate, no external power deciding what you can and cannot have. The only limits are the ones you accept. The only barriers are the ones you believe in. If you would dare to feel yourself into a new reality, if you would dare to assume that you are already the person you wish to be, the world must reshape itself to match your assumption. This is not theory. This is law. You may say, I have tried and it has not worked. But I ask you, have you truly lived in the feeling of your wish fulfilled? Have you remained faithful to it in the face of opposing evidence? Have you persisted, or have you allowed doubt to creep in and steal your assumption away? The moment you entertain doubt, you undo your work. The moment you look to the outer world for confirmation, you reveal that you have not fully accepted it as true within. Faith is not passive. Faith is active. It is a deep conviction that what you have assumed is already a fact, even when your senses deny it. It is the ability to remain unmoved, to refuse to waver, to hold steadfast to the truth that what you have felt internally must be expressed externally. If you persist in this without contradiction, without allowing the old reality to pull you back, there is nothing that can stop your desire from materializing. You must learn to live in the end. You must learn to occupy the feeling your fulfilled desire so completely there is no room for doubt. You must feel the joy before the evidence appears. You must feel the success before the recognition comes. You must feel the love before it is physically present. The world will always follow the command of your inner state, never the other way around. If you seek change, do not look outside yourself. Look within. Change the way you feel, and the world must rearrange itself accordingly. This is not wishful thinking. This is the principle by which all things are created. The moment you take control of your inner world, the outer world must bend to match it. It has no choice. It is law. Everything you have ever wanted is already within you, waiting to be claimed. The only thing that separates you from it is your willingness to feel it now. Do not wait for the evidence. Do not wait for circumstances to change. Assume it. Live it. Breathe it. Feel it so deeply that it becomes impossible to distinguish between what is imagined and what is real, for in truth there is no difference. The only reality is what you accept as true. Walk as if you are already the person you wish to be. Speak as if you have already received what you desire. Move through life with the quiet confidence of one who knows. Let your inner world dictate your outer experience, not the other way around, and above all persist. No matter what appears before you, hold fast to your assumption. For what you consistently feel must become your reality. It is done. It has always been done. The moment you feel it, you've already received it. There is no power outside of you that can deny you what you have assumed as true within. You have been taught to believe in circumstances, to look at what is and accept it as the final say, but what you see now is only the shadow of past assumptions, the residue of old beliefs playing out before you. It is not permanent. It is not unchangeable. The moment you change the way you feel within, reality must follow. It is not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. You have been given dominion over all things, but you have been conditioned to forget. You have been told to work hard, to struggle, to earn your desires as if they are something outside of you, something separate, something that must be fought for. But the truth is far simpler. What you desire is already yours. The only thing that keeps it at a distance is your failure to feel it as real now. If you could strip away the layers of doubt, of fear, of unworthiness, you would see that what you seek is already present. But instead of living in that awareness, you cling to the old self, the old story, the old ways of being. You allow the outer world to dictate your inner state, instead of realizing that your inner state is the cause of the outer world. It is never the other way around. If you believe you are unwanted, the world will mirror that back to you. If you believe you are unworthy, life will give you experiences that confirm it. Not because it is true, but because you have accepted it as true. And the law is precise. It will not bring you what you merely wish for, but what you deeply feel to be true. The key is not to force change in the outer world. That is where most fail. They try to manipulate people, conditions, and events, believing that action alone will bring them what they desire. But action without the right feeling is wasted effort. You must first shift within. You must first align yourself with the state of your wish fulfilled. And then the action will flow naturally. The right words will come. The right doors will open. The right circumstances will arrange themselves. You do not need to know how. The how is not your concern. The mind will try to analyze, to figure out every step, to control the process. But the process is not yours to control. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, life moves in ways beyond your comprehension to bring it to pass. Trust in this. Rest in this. The seed you have planted in consciousness is already growing, even if you cannot yet see it. Think of the farmer who plants a seed. He does not dig it up each day to see if it is growing. He does not worry about whether it will become a tree. He trusts the process. He nurtures it. But he does not question it. He knows that in time the seed will break through the soil and reveal itself. This is how you must approach your desires. Once you have planted them in your imagination, let them be. Let them take root. Do not entertain doubt. Do not undo your work with fear. You may not see immediate results. That is where many falter. They allow their senses to dictate their belief instead of holding firm to the unseen reality. But just because you cannot see something does not mean it is not real. The foundation of a building is laid long before the structure appears above ground. The foundation of your new life is being built in the unseen, in the realm of assumption, in the world of feeling. And when it is ready, it will manifest effortlessly. Your only work is to remain faithful. Do not waver between faith and doubt, between belief and disbelief. A double-minded person receives nothing, for they are unstable in their ways. Decide now that what you have felt is real. Stand firm in that assumption, no matter what the outer world presents. Speak as though it is done. Walk as though it is done. Rejoice as though it is done. And soon you will see that it was always done. You may wonder how long it will take. That is not for you to decide. The moment you question time, you admit you do not truly believe. If you knew it was already done, would you be concerned with time? If you knew your desire was inevitable, would you worry about when it would come? The feeling of waiting is the feeling of lack, and what you feel you continue to experience. So abandon the need for time. Live as if it is already yours now. And time will have no choice but to align with your assumption. There is a silence within you where all things are known, a stillness that speaks louder than any voice. When you enter this silence, when you quiet the doubts, when you release the need to control, you will hear the truth. You will feel it in your being. You will know beyond words, beyond logic, beyond reason, that what you have claimed in imagination is already accomplished. This is the secret. This is the key. Let go of struggle. Let go of effort. Let go of trying. Simply assume, simply feel, simply be. The world will follow. It always has. It always will. You have been conditioned to believe that reality is fixed, that what you see and touch is more real than what you feel within. But this is an illusion, a trick of the senses that keeps you bound to limitation. The only true reality is the one you create within yourself, the one you feel is real before the world can confirm it. The senses are deceivers. They show you the past, not the present. What you see now is nothing but a delayed reflection of who you once assumed yourself to be. The world you live in is not separate from you. It is you pushed out, made visible in form. If you feel powerless, life will show you circumstances that reinforce that belief. If you feel wealthy, even when there is nothing in your hands, wealth will begin to take shape around you. It is not the outer that creates the inner. It is the inner that creates the outer. Everything begins in the unseen, in the realm of consciousness, and from there it moves outward into the visible world. This is why you must learn to trust your imagination more than your senses. What you accept in imagination will harden into fact, and nothing in this world can prevent it except your own doubt. Do not fight against appearances. Do not struggle with conditions. They are only shadows, reflections of old thoughts, past assumptions. The moment you decide to feel differently, the moment you assume something new, the world must begin to shift. It may take time to appear before you, but it has already changed. The seed has been planted, And just as you would not doubt the growth of a seed buried in the earth, you must not doubt the process of creation within you. To feel it as real is to step beyond waiting, beyond wishing, beyond hoping. Those who hope do not truly believe. They look to the future, imagining that one day their desire will come, never realizing that the future is only a projection of their present state. You are always living in the now, and what you feel now is what determines what must come. The moment you decide to feel as if you already have it, the moment you rest in that assumption, the future is rewritten. The pattern has changed. The new must come, or it is law. You may wonder how to sustain this feeling when the world contradicts it. How do you persist when reality tells you otherwise? The answer is simple. You turn within. You withdraw from the outer world, from the distractions, from the voices that tell you it is impossible, and you enter the stillness where all things are possible. You close your eyes to appearances and open them to the unseen. You sit with the feeling of already having what you desire, and you make it real within you. You do not argue with the senses. You do not try to force change. You simply dwell in the state of already having, already being, already living the life you have chosen. There will be moments of doubt. There will be days when the old world tries to pull you back, when circumstances seem unshaken, when nothing appears to change. But this is the great test. Will you believe in what is seen, or will you trust in what you have felt? Will you let the shadows dictate your fate, or will you remain faithful to your vision? Those who persist, who refuse to abandon their assumption, will see their desires materialize with absolute certainty. The feeling is everything. Words alone will not change your world. Affirmations spoken without belief will not alter your circumstances. You must feel the truth of your words. You must embody them, become them, live as if they are already so. This is not pretense. This is not imagination in the way you have been taught to believe. This is the only true reality. The world has conditioned you to call the unseen not real, but the unseen is the cause of all that is seen. The mind that dwells in assumption, that holds firm to its vision despite appearances, will always triumph over the one who allows the world to dictate what is possible. You have felt lack for so long that abundance seems like a distant dream. You have felt rejection for so long that love appears unreachable. But these are not fixed states. They are only habitual feelings, repeated so often that they have become your truth. Change the feeling, and the world must change. If you would only sit quietly, close your eyes, and feel yourself into the life you desire, if you would only persist in that feeling, trusting in its reality, you would see miracles unfold before you. But so many abandon the process too soon. They allow doubt to creep in, to whisper lies, to convince them that what they have felt was mere fantasy. They look for immediate proof, and when they do not see it, they give up. And in that moment, they return to the old state, and the old world remains unchanged. The law does not fail. It is precise, unfailing, immutable. The only thing that wavers is your faith in it. The moment you surrender to the feeling of already having, you set the wheels in motion. You are like the sculptor who has placed his hands upon the clay. The form may not yet be visible, but it is taking shape under your touch. And if you persist, if you continue to mold it with care, in time the masterpiece will be revealed. But if you abandon your work, if you walk away from it in frustration, it will remain unfinished. The choice is always yours. You are not separate from the life you desire. You are not separate from the abundance, the love, the joy, the peace you seek. These things are not outside of you. They are you, waiting to be felt, waiting to be accepted, waiting to be lived. The moment you claim them within, the moment you embrace them as already yours, the world will have no choice but to yield. It may come in ways you do not expect, through paths you could never have imagined, but it will come, it must come. The law is absolute. Close your eyes now. Breathe it deeply. Let go of the old story, the old doubts, the old limitations. Feel yourself into the reality you choose. Walk in that feeling, sleep in that feeling, live in that feeling, and watch as the world transforms before you, not by effort, not by force, but by the simple, unwavering power of your assumption. There is no force outside of you that decides your fate. There is no unseen hand that withholds your desires until you prove yourself worthy. The only force that shapes your reality is the one within you, the one that moves in silence, in imagination and feeling. What you feel deeply, consistently, and with conviction will always take form, for feeling is the one and only language of creation. You must ask yourself, what am I truly feeling throughout my day? Not the fleeting wishes, not the hopeful thoughts, but the deep and steady feeling that lingers beneath all else. That feeling is your prayer and is always answered. If you feel yourself to be unwanted, that is the message you send out into the world, and the world will reflect it back to you in ways both subtle and obvious. If you feel yourself to be abundant, even when the physical evidence says otherwise, that too must be mirrored back to you in time. It does not matter what the world claims is real. It does not matter what logic and reason insist must be true. The only thing that matters is what you feel to be true. You may argue that this is difficult. The weight of your circumstances is too heavy to ignore, but I tell you, you are never ignoring reality. You are shaping it. You are not denying the world, you are commanding it. When you choose to feel something new, when you step into the assumption of already being, already having, already living in the fulfillment of your desire, you are not escaping from life, you are directing it. This is not a game of pretending, this is not wishful thinking, this is the deliberate creation of reality, the same law that has governed all things since the beginning of time. Think of the times in your life when you have felt something so deeply that it could not be denied. Perhaps it was a moment of absolute certainty, a knowing so strong that no opposing force could shake it. And what happened? Did the world not conform to that certainty? Did you not see doors open where before there were none? This was no accident. This was the power of feeling in motion, the law unfolding before you, and yet so many dismiss it as coincidence, as luck, as mere chance. There is no luck, there is no randomness, there is only consciousness expressing itself, only states manifesting into form. You are always in a state, whether you are aware of it or not, you are always dwelling in some assumption, and that assumption is drawing to you the people, the events, the circumstances that match it. The moment you recognize this, you take back your power. The moment you become conscious of your state, you become the master of your life. No longer do you live at the mercy of conditions. No longer do you wait for the world to grant you permission to be who you wish to be. You simply assume it now, you feel it now. And in time the world will have no choice but to bow to your assumption. Doubt is the greatest thief. It sneaks in quietly, whispering that you are foolish to believe, that you must see first before you can feel. But seeing follows feeling, not the other way around. You will never see proof until you first assume it to be true. The great secret is this: you do not have to force yourself to believe, you simply have to persist in the feeling. You do not need to battle against doubt. You only need to dwell so deeply in the state of your wish, fulfilled that all else fades away. What would you feel if your desire were already a reality? What would move through you, not just in thought, but in your body, in your breath, in your heart? Capture that feeling even for a moment, and you have touched the power that creates worlds. Hold on to it, nurture it, let it become familiar, and soon it will take root. Do not concern yourself with how it will happen. The how is never your responsibility. Feeding is your only task. You may wonder why. If this is true, the world is filled with so much struggle, so much suffering, so many who never receive what they desire. The answer is simple. They have accepted struggle as their truth. They have felt their limitations so deeply, so repeatedly, that it has become their reality. The law is impersonal. It does not favor one over another. It only reflects back what is assumed. If one assumes hardship, hardship must come. If one assumes ease, ease must follow. There is no injustice in this, no mystery, no unfairness. There is only the law operating with perfect precision, giving to each according to their feeling. If you would only test this for yourself, even in the smallest way, you would see its truth. Take a moment now, close your eyes, let go of everything you know, everything you see, everything that has ever told you that you are limited. In this moment, feel yourself as you wish to be, not tomorrow, not one day, now. Let it be real to you, let it fill you. Surround you, move through you, for this is the only reality that matters, and from this moment forward the world must shift to reflect it. You do not need to be perfect in this. You do not need to hold the feeling every second of the day. You only need to return to it again and again until it becomes natural, until it feels so real to you that the old reality no longer holds power. This is the true work, the only work. And yet it is the easiest thing in the world once you allow yourself to trust it. Look back on your life and you will see that this has always been true. The things you feared, the things you anticipated, the things you deeply believed, all of them have come to pass in some way. You have been using this power all along. Only now you are being called to use it deliberately, no longer to dwell in limitation, but to step into the fullness of who you are. You will know you have mastered this when you no longer seek evidence, when you no longer look outside of yourself for confirmation, when the feeling alone is enough for you, when you can rest in the certainty that what you have assumed will be made real, then you will have unlocked the greatest power within you. Then you will no longer be a seeker, but a knower, one who walks in the state of already having, already being, already living in fulfillment. The world will tell you that this is foolish, that you must work harder, struggle more, prove yourself before you can receive, but you now know better. You know that creation is finished, that all you desire already exists, waiting for you to claim it in feeling. You do not have to beg, you do not have to fight, you simply have to assume. If you would only dare to persist, if you would only hold on to the feeling, no matter what the world says, you would see miracles unfold in ways beyond your imagination. But you must choose to feel it now, not when things look better, not when the world gives you permission. Now, in this very moment, for now is all there ever is, and in this now you have the power to create everything you have ever longed for. The power has always been within you. The world you see is not separate from you, but a reflection of the states you have chosen to dwell in. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are their creator. And now that you know this truth, you can no longer return to the old way of thinking, of waiting, of hoping without conviction. From this moment forward, let feeling be your guide. Let yourself assume the best, not because you see it, but because you know it must be. Trust that what you feel in imagination is far more real than anything your senses may tell you. Walk in the confidence that your assumption, held persistently, will harden into fact. You do not need to wait another day. You do not need permission from anyone or anything outside of you. The moment you claim your desire and feeling, it is already yours. The only question is, will you dare to believe? Will you persist beyond doubt? Will you trust the unseen before it becomes seen? If you do, you will know the truth of creation. You will see for yourself that feeling is the secret, that assumption is power, and that all things are possible to the one who dares to feel it real. This will find you when you need it most. Ponder these words, for they contain within them the very essence of your being, the key to unlocking the infinite potential that resides within you. You see, everything in your world, every circumstance, every encounter, every fleeting thought is but a reflection of your own consciousness. And it is this consciousness, this awareness of being that is the true source of all that you experience. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. You, my dear listener, are not merely a physical body moving through space and time. You are in essence pure consciousness, the very fabric of reality itself. And it is through this consciousness that you shape and mold your entire world. Every desire, every fear, every leaf you hold dear becomes the blueprint for your life experiences. Now you may ask, but Wayne, how can this be? How can my thoughts and feelings create my reality? And to this I say, open your mind to the greatest secret of all, the law of assumption. This law, as immutable as gravity itself, states that whatever state you assume to be true must be made manifest in your world. It is not hope, not mere positive thinking, but a deep, unshakable knowing that brings your desires into being. Consider for a moment the times in your life when you've needed something most. Perhaps it was guidance, perhaps it was comfort, or perhaps it was a sudden flash of inspiration. Did you not find in those moments of greatest need that the very thing you required seemed to appear as if by magic? This, my friends, is no coincidence. It is the law of assumption at work, bringing to you exactly what you need precisely when you need it most. But let us not mistake this for some external force, some capricious universe doling out favors. No, the power lies entirely within you. You are the operant power, the God of your universe, shaping reality through the power of your imagination. When you fully grasp this truth, when you internalize it to the very core of your being, you will understand that nothing is impossible to you. Imagine, if you will, a world where every desire of your heart is fulfilled, where every dream you've ever dared to dream becomes your living reality. This world, my friends, is not some far-off utopia. It is the very world you inhabit right now, waiting to be molded by the power of your assumption. For when you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you live from the end as though your desire were already a fact, you set in motion forces beyond your comprehension, aligning the entire universe to bring about your desired state. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Wayne, I've tried positive thinking before. I've visualized, I've affirmed, and still my desires elude me. To this I say, you have not yet fully embraced the law of assumption. For it is not enough to merely think positively or to visualize half-heartedly. You must feel it, live it, breathe it. You must assume the state of your wish fulfilled with such conviction that to experience anything else becomes an impossibility. Let me share with you a technique, a method so simple yet so profound that it has the power to revolutionize your entire existence. It is the technique of living from the end. In the quiet of your mind, in that still space between sleeping and waking, create a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. See it, feel it, taste it, touch it. Make it so real, so vivid that for a moment you foresight your present circumstances entirely, and in that moment of forgetting, you plant the seed of your new reality. But remember, my dear friends, this is not a one-time exercise. It is a way of life, a constant state of being. You must persist in your assumption, even when the outside world seems to contradict it. For the outside world is but a shadow, a reflection of past assumptions. Your true power lies in the present moment, in your ability to choose right now the state you wish to occupy. Consider the biblical phrase before they call, "I will answer." This is not the proclamation of some external deity, but a profound statement about the nature of consciousness itself. Your desires, your needs are already fulfilled in the realm of infinite possibility. It is your task, through the power of assumption, to bring them into your three-dimensional reality. Now you may wonder, how long must I persist? When will I see the fruits of my assumption? And to this I say, the time it takes for your assumption to become your physical reality is directly proportional to the naturalness of your assumption. When your desired state feels as natural to you as breathing, when you can no longer conceive of any other reality, then will it manifest with a speed that will astonish you. But do not be discouraged if at first you stumble, if doubt creeps in, if the old man reassess himself. This is natural, for you are engaging in a radical transformation of consciousness. You are literally rebirthing yourself, shedding old limitations, and embracing your divine nature. Persistence is key. Each time you catch yourself stepping into old patterns of thought, gently but firmly redirect your attention to the state of your wish fulfilled. Remember, my friends, that your imagination is not bound by the so-called facts of your current reality. Your imagination transcends time and space, operating in a realm where all things are possible. When you imagine lovingly on behalf of another, when you see them as they wish to be seen, you are performing the highest act of creation, for in truth there is no other. All as you pushed out, all is a reflection of your own magnificent consciousness. Let us now turn our attention to the concept of time, for it plays a crucial role in understanding how this message finds you when you need it most. Time, as you experience it in your day-to-day life, is but an illusion, a construct of the human mind. In the realm of pure consciousness, all moments exist simultaneously. The past, present, and future are one eternal now. This understanding is crucial, for it means that the moment of your greatest need and the moment of its fulfillment are one and the same. When you fully grasp this truth, you will see that there is no waiting, no striving, no desperate seeking. There is only the calm assurance that all is well, all is as it should be, all is unfolding in divine perfection. Consider the times in your life when a book has fallen open to exactly the page you needed to read, or when a chance encounter provided the very guidance you were seeking. These are not random occurrences, but perfect demonstrations of the law of assumption at work. You drew these experiences to you through your state of consciousness, through your awareness of need, and your openness to receive. Now let us delve deeper into the mechanics of manifestation, for understanding this process will empower you to consciously create the life you desire. Every experience in your life, every person you encounter, every circumstance you find yourself in is a reflection of your dominant state of consciousness. Your world is quite literally molded by your beliefs, expectations, and assumptions. This is why two people can experience the same external event in radically different ways. One sees opportunity where another sees obstacle. One finds joy where another finds despair. The difference lies not in the event itself, but in the consciousness through which it is perceived. Understanding this, you begin to see the immense power you hold. No longer are you a victim of circumstance buffeted about by forces beyond your control. You are the author of your life story, the director of your grand play, and with this power comes great responsibility. The responsibility to consciously choose the states you occupy, to carefully curate the assumptions you hold. But how, you may ask, does one go about changing deeply ingrained patterns of thought and belief? The answer lies in the art of revision. Each night before you sleep, review the events of your day, but do not simply replay them as they occurred. In fact, revise them. See them unfolding as you would have wished them to unfold. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the sense of fulfillment that comes with this revised version of events. This practice serves two purposes. First, it trains your mind to focus on the desired state rather than the current reality. Second, and more profoundly, it actually rewrites your past. For remember, time is an illusion. The past exists only in your memory, and your memory can be altered through the power of imagination. As you consistently practice revision, you will find that your entire perception of life begins to shift. You will naturally gravitate towards more positive states of being, attracting experiences that align with your revised assumptions. This is how you actively participate in the creation of your reality, how you ensure that what you need most always finds you at the perfect moment. Now, let us address a question that often arises when discussing these concepts. What about other people? Can I use the law of assumption to change their behavior or circumstances? The answer, my friends, is both yes and no. Yes, in the sense that all is you pushed out. All is a reflection of your consciousness, and no, in the sense that attempting to manipulate others for personal gain is a misuse of this divine law. Instead, I urge you to see others through the eyes of love, to imagine lovingly on their behalf. See them as they wish to be seen, as their highest, most actualized selves. In doing so, you not only elevate them, but you elevate yourself. For remember, there is no other. In blessing others, you bless yourself. In seeing the divine in others, you recognize the divine within you. This brings us to another crucial point, the importance of self-love and self-acceptance. Many of you struggle with feelings of unworthiness, with the belief that you are somehow not deserving of your heart's desires. But I say to you, with all the conviction of my being, that you are worthy beyond measure. You are a divine being, a perfect expression of the infinite Creator, worthy of all the love, abundance, and joy that life has to offer. If you find yourself struggling with self-love, begin by assuming the state of one who is deeply loved and cherished. Feel it, live it, breathe it. As you persist in this assumption, you will find your entire world transforming to reflect this new self-concept. For the outside world can only ever show you what you hold to be true about yourself. Now let us turn our attention to the concept of detachment, for it is crucial in understanding how to navigate the path of manifestation. Many of you, in your eagerness to see your desires fulfilled, cling tightly to the outcome, anxiously awaiting signs of its manifestation. But this very anxiety, this attachment to results, creates resistance that slows the process of manifestation. True mastery lies in detachment, in the ability to plant the seed of your desire and then let it grow naturally, without constantly digging it up to check its progress. This detachment comes from a place of deep trust, trust in the law, trust in the process, and most importantly, trust in yourself as the operant power in your universe. When you truly understand that your desire is already fulfilled in the realm of infinite possibility, that it is making its youth through the bridge of incidents, if you can relax into a state of calm expectancy, you need not worry about the how or the when. Your only task is to maintain the assumption of your wish fulfilled, to live each day from the state of the person who already has what they desire. This state of relaxed expectancy, of knowing without anxious striving, is the fertile soil in which your desires take root and flourish. It is in this state that you become most receptive to inspiration, to divine guidance, to those seemingly miraculous coincidences that lead you effortlessly towards the fulfillment of your desires. Remember, my dear friends, that the universe is infinitely abundant. There is no lack, no limitation, except that which you impose upon yourself through your beliefs and assumptions. When you truly internalize this truth, where you live from a place of abundance rather than scarcity, you open yourself to receive blessings beyond your wildest dreams. This abundance mindset extends far beyond material possessions. It encompasses love, joy, peace, creativity, all the qualities that make life rich and fulfilling. As you assume the state of one who is abundantly blessed in all areas of life, you will find that opportunities and resources flow to you effortlessly, often in ways you could never have anticipated. Now let us address a common misconception, the idea that assuming your desire fulfilled means sitting back passively and waiting for it to appear. Nothing could be further from the truth. The law of assumption is not about inaction, but inspired action. When you truly assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you naturally begin to think, feel, and act in alignment with that state. You may find yourself suddenly inspired to take a certain course of action, to reach out to a particular prodding, to explore a new opportunity. These inspired actions flow naturally from your assumed state, guiding you effortlessly towards the manifestation of your desire. The key is to remain open and receptive, to trust your intuition, and to act on these divine impulses when they arise. Remember, every desire that arises within you carries within it the seed of its own fulfillment. The very fact that you can conceive of a desire means that you have the capacity to bring it into manifestation. Your task is not to make it happen through force of will, but to align your consciousness with the fulfillment of that desire, to become in imagination the person who already has what you seek. As you go about your daily life practicing the law of assumption, you will begin to notice a profound shift in your perception of reality. The world around you will seem more vibrant, more alive with possibility. Synchronicities will abound, doors will open where before there were only walls. This is the natural result of aligning your consciousness with the infinite creative power of the universe. But remember, my friends, that this journey of conscious creation is not about accumulating possessions or achieving worldly success. While these things may come as a natural byproduct of your expanded consciousness, the true goal is the realization of your divine nature, the full expression of your infinite potential. As you master the art of living from the end, of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you will find that your desires themselves begin to evolve. No longer will you be driven by lack or fear, but by a deep desire to express your unique gifts, to contribute to the world in meaningful ways, to experience the fullness of life in all its magnificent variety. This evolution of desire is a natural part of your spiritual growth. As you align more fully with your true nature, as you embrace your role as a conscious creator, you will find yourself drawn to experiences and pursuits that bring you into greater harmony with the divine flow of life. Now let us address a question that often arises as one begins to consciously apply the law of assumption. What about setbacks and challenges? How do I maintain my assumption in the face of apparent failure or disappointment? This, my friends, is where your faith is truly tested, where the rubber meets the road in your journey of conscious creation. Remember that what appears to be a setback or failure is often a necessary part of the bridge of incidents leading to the fulfillment of your desire. The universe always moves in the most efficient way possible to bring about your assumed state. What may seem like a detour or delay from your limited human perspective may in fact be the perfect unfolding of events to lead you to your desired outcome. In these moments of apparent setback, it is crucial to redouble your efforts in maintaining your assumption. Do not be swayed by appearances, for they are but shadows of past beliefs. Instead, stand firm in your conviction, knowing that your desired state is already a reality in the realm of infinite possibility, making it your three-dimensional experience. Use these moments as opportunities to strengthen your faith, to deepen your understanding of the law. For it is often in our darkest moments that our greatest breakthroughs occur, when we are forced to dig deep and find reserves of faith and resilience we never knew we possessed. Remember, too, that the law of assumption operates with mathematical precision. There is no room for doubt or uncertainty in its operation. When you assume a state, the entire universe conspires to bring it into manifestation. Your only task is to persist in that assumption, to live from that state with unwavering faith, regardless of external circumstances. As you continue on this journey of conscious creation, you will find that your entire relationship with life begins to shift. No longer will you see yourself as a small, powerless being at the mercy of external forces. Instead, you will recognize yourself as the divine creator of your reality, shaping your world through the power of your consciousness. This shift in perspective brings with it a profound sense of peace and empowerment. For when you truly understand that you are the author of your life story, that you have the power to rewrite any aspect of your experience at any moment, fear and anxiety naturally fall away. In that place arises a deep sense of trust in the perfection of life's unfolding. But with this power comes great responsibility. As you become more adept at consciously creating your reality, you must also become more mindful of the states you occupy, the assumptions you hold. For remember, the law is impartial. It will bring into manifestation whatever state you assume, whether positive or negative. This is why it is crucial to cultivate a practice of self-awareness, to become the vigilant observer of your own thoughts and feelings. Catch yourself when you slip into negative states, when you entertain doubts or fears. Gently, but firmly redirect your attention to the state of your wish fulfilled. With practice, this redirection becomes second nature, a natural reflex of your awakened consciousness. As you master this art of conscious living, you will find that your life becomes a joyous adventure, a grand exploration of the infinite possibilities that exist within you. Every day becomes an opportunity to experience new aspects of your divine nature, to express more fully the unique gifts you have to offer the world.